Jenna Sterling. For my 16th birthday, like many of you all, I'm sure, all I wanted was a car. And I waited and hoped, and finally July came around, and my parents surprised me with my dream car. I love that car more than anything. I treated it like it was my child. I even named it Rain because of the color. But after I'd been driving for a while, I began to get comfortable with things, and I would mess with the radio or eat, or the worst habit was texting. And actually, texting is what caused me to get into an accident. I remember the day like it was yesterday. I was going to meet one of my friends, and I was on the way. I thought I'd just send her a quick text, hey, I'm on my way, and I look up and I'm going into a ditch, and I ended up upside down. They say one of my back tires got caught on the tree, and that's what caused the car to flip. So there I was, hanging from my seatbelt, so scared. Luckily, no one else was involved, and I didn't have any serious injuries. But that was the day I decided I needed to take driving way more serious and be a safe driver. So, first thing I'm going to talk about is to always wear your seatbelt. In my case, the seatbelt saved my life. I could have been thrown from the car, fallen out, the car fell on me. Anything could happen, but I believe that God was with me that day, and even the officer on the scene said that not many people walk away fine from something like that. It is a law in Kentucky to wear your seatbelt, and these are facts from the National Highway Traffic Administration. Seatbelts, when worn correctly, reduce the risk of fatal injury to front seat passenger car occupants by 45%, and the risk of moderate to critical injury by 50%. For pickup trucks, SUVs, and vans, seatbelts reduce the risk of fatal injury by 60% and moderate to critical injury by 65%. In Kentucky, in 2015, of the 761 total highway fatalities, 588 were in motor vehicles, and of those 358, 61% were unrestrained, so not wearing their seatbelt. The most common mistake people make is, oh, I'm just running an errand, I'm running right across town, and they think they don't need to put it on, but one study found that most deadly crashes occur within 25 miles of your own home. As mine did, I was on the windy road from my house. The next thing to safe driving is to not have any distractions, and I read an article that lists that there are 3 types of distractions while driving. Those are cognitive, visual, and manual. Cognitive is anything that keeps your mind off the road, say you had a bad day at work, or you got in an argument with your friend, or maybe you're just daydreaming. Visual is when you look away from the road, so looking at a phone, radio, GPS, or even like an accident on the side of the road. And manual is when you take your hands off the wheel for any reason, like eating, drinking, or maybe looking for something in your bag. So the most common way to avoid all those things is to just put your cell phone away, maybe have a playlist made of music, use the audio on a GPS, and anything that you need to take your hands off the wheel for can wait. So the next thing I'm going to talk about is defensive driving, and that's not only being aware of yourself, but other drivers and your surroundings. So if you've been on the road, you know that not everyone is a good driver. People speed or don't stay in their lane or don't use a turning signal. And although you can't control the actions of other people, you can help avoid the dangers by upping your defensive driving skills. These skills include staying focused, staying alert, keeping your speed down, not depending on other drivers, thinking safely, and following the 3 to 4 second rule. The 3 to 4 second rule says that if you can reach a fixed point before you can count to 3, that you're driving too close to the car in front of you. And that rule can help save you from a lot of collisions. So by following all of those things, you're more aware of what's going on around you, and you can hopefully avoid any dangerous situations. So overall, there are many steps to safe driving, but I want to remind you to always wear your seatbelt. It saved my life. Not have any distractions, and become a defensive driver. Multitasking and driving don't mix, so by focusing on just the road, you can save your life or even someone else's.
Okay.
Yeah, it did. I don't know if you know where Jack's Creek Road is, but I lived out in that area and it was on that road.
Well, I can tell you, I personally